I did reach out to him at first. He didn't answer the phone because I had just heard it, so I wasn't sure that it was him. So I was calling him to like, yo, like, what is this? He didn't answer my calls. But then when we had did some things to start like reaching out to the network to try to get the whole situation shut down, then all of a sudden he reaches out to me. And I didn't want to talk after that. I was like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't ever have to talk to you again. And that's just how I feel. I'm like, that is the lowest of the low. Our first, what was that? First spinoff was the wedding or one of them. I think our spinoff was the first show that he was executive producer for. I literally fought for him to be executive producer of my show, to be the lead executive producer. Right. So for you to have somebody that you went out for and I always respected him as a producer to do that to me. I was like, I have no respect for him. And so for him to now, every time he turn around, he got something to say about me. I'm like, I just give him no energy. But that right there, my life story, that shit gets me emotional and it pisses me off.
Have you ever wondered what really happens when reality TV titans and music powerhouses lock horns on and off camera? Well, look no further than Kandi Burruss and Tamar Braxton, two names that have kept fans guessing, gossiping, and glued to their screens for years. But now, there's a third voice shaking up the feud, reality TV producer Carlos King. According to unverified rumors making the rounds online, Carlos recently doubled down on his perspective regarding Kandi's drama with Tamar, and it didn't take long for Kandi to respond. In this video, we're digging into the messy details of what might be going on behind the scenes. From whispered backstage confrontations to big public showdowns, we'll talk about Kandi's alleged clapback at Carlos's latest comments and why Tamar is smack in the middle of it all. Is Carlos King simply defending his reputation, or is he stirring the pot for more headlines? Is Kandi genuinely setting the record straight, or is she fueling a fire that keeps everyone talking? Let's unravel the speculation, follow the facts we do know, and see how this showdown might finally resolve or explode into an even bigger spectacle. Before we can understand why Kandi Burruss might feel the need to respond to Carlos King, we have to take a quick peek at how these relationships took shape. Kandi Burruss is no stranger to drama, but she's also one of the most successful crossover talents in reality television. She rose to fame with the R&B group Xscape in the 1990s, co-writing hits that defined an era. Then she became a core cast member on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, quickly earning a reputation as a savvy businesswoman with an unshakable focus on her money. Tamar Braxton, meanwhile, is used to the spotlight thanks to her famous sister, Toni Braxton. Yet Tamar carved out her own lane, releasing solo music projects and starring on Braxton Family Values, where she showcased a bold, outspoken personality. Tamar also co-hosted daytime TV and dipped her toes into multiple reality competitions, including Celebrity Big Brother, where she and Kandi ended up as castmates. Tension between Kandi and Tamar started surfacing in subtle ways long before the public considered them enemies. They'd appear on the same stages or in interviews, throwing around quick remarks that fans dissected for possible shade. Maybe it was personality clashes, maybe it was professional jealousy, but things were destined to escalate once Carlos King, a respected reality TV producer, became part of the story. The spark that lit the fuse between Kandi and Carlos King was a rumored Xscape biopic fiasco. Kandi said she got blindsided by a third party who asked her about licensing Xscape's music for a film. The catch? She had no idea this biopic was even in development. She later learned that Carlos King was allegedly behind the project, aiming to tell the story of Xscape without her full permission. For Kandi, it felt like a personal betrayal because she and Carlos once worked closely on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. She let the world know she felt cheated out of telling her own story, calling his attempt theft. Fans weighed in on social media. Some sided with Kandi, saying Carlos was out of line for not consulting the group properly. Others argued that he might have had every legal right to develop a project if he acquired the story through official channels. Then came Tamar Braxton's turn to chime in. Tamar defended Carlos, implying that Kandi was making a big deal out of a standard business move. Instantly, fans saw this as a direct swipe at Kandi's credibility. One moment, Tamar and Kandi were occasional collaborators, or at least friendly acquaintances. The next, they were on opposing teams in a drama fueled by accusations of stolen intellectual property. From there, the tension only grew, eventually morphing into a much bigger beast that included new allegations and epic social media rants. While the initial battle over the Xscape biopic set the stage, the feud took on fresh life when Carlos King reportedly revisited the drama in a recent interview. Though the specifics remain elusive, online whispers suggest that Carlos King made comments reflecting on both Kandi's accusations and her ongoing clash with Tamar. Some say he portrayed himself as misunderstood, insisting he never intended to steal anything from Kandi. Others claimed he hinted that Kandi overreacted to a project that was far from final. Whether Carlos truly made those remarks or not, rumor has it Kandi wasn't thrilled. According to fans who keep close tabs on her social media and public statements, she subtly addressed his take by doubling down on her stance. If someone tries to profit off of your life story without an honest discussion, it's a violation of trust. She apparently hinted that Carlos's attempt to clear his name was just more smoke and mirrors. In some versions of this rumor, Kandi also connected Carlos King's stance to Tamar Braxton's unwavering support of him, suggesting that Tamar should be more cautious about what she believes. That's speculation, of course, as Kandi rarely calls people out by name in a direct, messy way. But the timing of her comments leads many to think she was definitely responding to Carlos's new spin on the story. Here's where we enter the realm of educational gossip. Some fans wonder if Carlos has a financial or personal incentive to keep this controversy alive. Perhaps a project in the works, or a bid to stay in the spotlight. Others speculate that Kandi, who often plays it cool, might be more riled up behind the scenes than she lets on. Both angles remain unconfirmed, and it's important to note that none of the involved parties have issued official press releases detailing these recent conversations. But in the rumor-filled world of reality TV, the only thing bigger than the drama is the fans' appetite for it. Even before Carlos King allegedly reignited the tension, there was the infamous backstage showdown between Kandi and Tamar. The story goes that Tamar was performing at a show, also attended by Kandi and Kandi's husband, Todd Tucker. Tamar later alleged that Kandi and Todd confronted her aggressively about comments she made on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. Specifically, comments referencing a peach-holding housewife and her husband who tried to intimidate her. According to Tamar, Kandi was furious, and Todd didn't help the situation. She painted them as bullies, claiming the confrontation escalated to the point that Tamar felt threatened. Kandi's response was that she indeed addressed Tamar, but only because Tamar was spreading misinformation about the Carlos King situation. Kandi has maintained that Todd merely stepped in to calm everyone down, not to stoke the flames. The truth lies somewhere between their two stories, but fans have chosen sides anyways. Hashtags and fan debates blew up online, with Tamar supporters branding Kandi and Todd as opportunistic troublemakers, and Kandi fans calling Tamar an attention-seeking drama magnet. Once the backstage drama made its way to the internet, both Kandi and Tamar took to various platforms to air their perspectives. Tamar was more outspoken, jumping on Instagram Live to call out what she viewed as attempts by Kandi and Todd to silence her. She painted herself as the underdog in a battle against powerful reality stars who, in her view, wanted to control the narrative. Kandi, famously more strategic in her approach, released a series of video snippets and interviews explaining she never threatened Tamar. She said the issue boiled down to Tamar unfairly supporting Carlos King without recognizing the hurt he caused. Some fans found Kandi's composed style believable. Others claimed her calm demeanor was calculated to make Tamar look irrational. At this point, the old wounds from Celebrity Big Brother resurfaced. Viewers of that show remembered how Tamar and Kandi butted heads over alliance building and trust issues. There were heated arguments, tears, and plenty of eye rolls. When Tamar ultimately won, she made it clear her relationship with Kandi wasn't the same. The new drama felt like a continuation of unresolved tension, like a Big Brother sequel, but this time with real-world consequences. Social media buzzed with each new statement. Meme accounts had a field day. Twitter threads analyzed every word, trying to figure out who was stirring the pot the most. Some said Tamar just couldn't let go of grudges. Others believed Kandi was more manipulative than she let on. Still others focused on Carlos King, questioning if he enjoyed the chaos because it generated hype for future TV projects. The lines were drawn, and neutral ground was hard to find. This wasn't Tamar's first public dispute, and it likely won't be her last. Over the years, the Braxton family drama has spilled out on Braxton family values, with Tamar frequently clashing with her sisters, Tony, Tracy, Trina, and Tawanda. She's also had spats with former co-hosts, ex-boyfriends, and other celebrities. Tamar's bold, unfiltered approach can win her fans who appreciate her no-nonsense style, but it can also alienate people who see it as combative. Some argue that Tamar has been through a lot. Divorce, mental health struggles, career setbacks, and that she tends to speak from a place of hurt. Others believe she's addicted to controversy and uses drama to maintain public interest. Even her own supporters sometimes wish she'd refrain from airing every conflict on social media, fearing it overshadows her obvious talent as a singer and entertainer. Whether you see Tamar as misunderstood or messy, there's no denying the pattern. Each new feud, whether with family or industry peers, seems to amplify the next. And that reality raises an interesting question. Would the Kandi-Tamar clash have escalated to this level if both women weren't so experienced at using headlines to their advantage? While Tamar's side of the story often dominates online chatter, Kandi Burruss hasn't exactly been silent. She's just made different choices about how to respond. After building a resume that includes Grammy-winning songwriting, successful restaurant ventures, and multiple reality TV offshoots, Kandi is one of the highest-earning Real Housewives stars. She also keeps multiple creative projects going simultaneously, from music and theater to digital content. Tamar has tried to challenge Kandi's accomplishments, implying that her restaurants might be overrated and that Kandi's fame in the music industry is outdated. However, Kandi rarely engages with those criticisms head-on. Instead, she focuses on producing new content, whether it's her spin-off series like Kandi and the Gang, or promoting her family life with Todd and their kids. She also invests in new business ideas and continues to collect paychecks from the Real Housewives of Atlanta and other appearances. This has allowed her to come off as calm, collected, and unbothered by the noise. Fans often applaud her for not stooping to the same level, describing her as a boss who doesn't have time for petty drama. Meanwhile, Tamar's approach, direct callouts, and candid confessions can strike some as authentic and others as overkill. The contrast between the two women's methods only fuels the rivalry further. Every time Tamar says something sharp, Kandi's muted reaction gains more respect from her fanbase. Over time, the feud's nonstop nature has weighed on the public. People who once cheered for Tamar appreciate her candidness, but many are drained by repeated conflicts. They see a pattern that goes beyond Kandi and wonder if Tamar's real battle is within herself. Questions circle around. How many falling outs can someone have before they realize they're in the common denominator? Simultaneously, Kandi has become the face of staying focused on the bag. Whether intentional or not, her approach has earned her a reputation for letting her successes speak louder than any rumor. Fans joke that while Tamar is ranting, Kandi is depositing checks. Fair or not, this dynamic has led some viewers to think Kandi won the feud simply by maintaining composure. But is that a fair assessment? Kandi certainly has her critics, who claim she's manipulative behind the scenes, planting seeds of chaos while keeping her hands clean in public. Those critics point out that Kandi is a seasoned reality star who knows exactly how to maintain a relatable image. Tamar's more emotional reactions could be genuine, but end up hurting her public image. In other words, both women might be playing the reality TV game, just in very different ways. Where does that leave us now? With Kandi Burruss allegedly responding to Carlos King's latest remarks, the feud is back on everyone's radar. Has the conversation shifted? Are Kandi and Tamar any closer to finding peace? Or is the drama more profitable if they remain at odds? We have a lot of moving parts here. Kandi's anger over the Xscape biopic, Tamar's loyalty to Carlos King, the rumored backstage blow-up, and now Kandi's subtle yet unmistakable clapback to Carlos's take on it all. Despite so many chapters to this story, there's still no tidy resolution. The reality TV machine thrives on conflict, and both Tamar and Kandi know that controversy keeps people talking. So what do you think? Is Kandi justified in clapping back at Carlos King's comments? Or should she have let him talk without offering a response? Is Tamar truly loyal to Carlos? Or does she just enjoy taking jabs at Kandi? And perhaps the bigger question, do these feuds serve a purpose beyond entertainment? Or are they slowly eroding the reputations of everyone involved? Whether Kandi and Tamar bury the hatchet or find new ways to fan the flames, I'll be here to break down the details. Until next time, stay curious and stay ready for whatever bombshell drops next.